Hello, class. So we will go over the exams. Now, the first question, as you can see here, we need to calculate what A is in terms of B and T. So let us try to write this one up in the corner. B is equal to 1/2 AT squared. Now, what we want is this A. That means we want to get rid of this 1/2 and T squared. How would you get rid of 1/2? This is where many students made a mistake. In order for you to get rid of 1/2, we need to multiply by its reciprocal, which is 2 over 1, and then 2 over 1. That's what we end up getting. Then we end up having a t squared would have been equal to 2b. And we want to have a by itself, so we want to divide by t squared on each side. Then we will end up getting an answer choice B. Alright, next. Number 2. Now, in order for us to find the values that satisfy this inequality, what we need to do is this. Similar to what we have done before, in other cases, we want to move the x's on one side, the other values on the other side. So here it goes. So we have 1/2 x and 2x can be combined together by subtracting 1/2 x on both sides. Then we will end up getting 3 is left, which is less than 3 over 2x minus 6. Now, how are we going to get rid of the 6? Simply by adding 6 on each side. Then we'll end up getting 3 over 2x must be greater than 9. Now, but in order for us to have x by itself, what we want to do is get rid of this 3 over 2, just like what we have done before from the previous question. In order for it to get rid of 3 over 2, we can multiply by its reciprocal, which is 2/3. Then we will end up getting the answer x, which is greater than 2/3 of 9 will be equal to 6. Alright, next question. Now, in this case, we gotta have the rectangle. So let us make one rectangle right here. Now, it says the width of the rectangle is 3 less than twice the length. So, basically twice the length, x. So if we call this one as length x, then width will be 3 less than. Notice this 3 will be on the back of the expression, twice the length, which is 2x. Now, but its area is equal to 43. The way which we can get the area is length times width. So what we end up getting is simply x times 2x minus 3. That becomes our answer, which we now know it to be equal to 43. So therefore, our answer would have been choice number 4. Alright, next question. The fact that those two lines are parallel, it means same slope. So let us try to figure out the slope here. Slope here, we realize it to be 2. That's what the slope is from y equals mx plus b format. Now, how about here? Since our y is not isolated yet, by adding kx from both sides, then we will realize y equals kx plus 7. Now, since we gotta have the same slope, and then slope on the previous case was 2, then that will come right over here. So therefore, we realize k must be equal to 2. Choice 2 would have been our answer. Alright, number 5. Now, the fact that a line contains the point simply means we should be able to plug this 1 for x and y 3 for y, and then the equation has to be satisfied. For example, if you had to plug in 1 and 3, in this location, we would have gotten something like this. 1 plus 2 times 3. Is that in fact equal to 5? Let's look at it. 1 plus, as you can see, this will be 6. In fact, you will realize that that's not equal to 5. So therefore, number 1 will not be the answer. But on the other hand, if you go for number 3 here, I'm going to be plugging 1 and 3 for x and y. So 2 times 1 plus 3, is that equal to 5? And we realize 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. Therefore, we found our answer, which is choice. Alright, let's move on. Now, in this case, we're looking for the solution, meaning the values that satisfy this one and this one at the same time. Now, there are many different ways of getting the answer, but in this particular case, since c is equal to this value, we can just plug this one in place of c, right over here. So, instead of writing c plus 3d, we'll be writing down 4d minus 6 in place of c as given, and then plus 3d is equal to 8. Now, when you combine them together, we will realize that 7d must be equal to 14, and then d must be equal to then 2. Now, when d is equal to 2, we can just pick any one of these two to get our answer. So let me try to use this one for a second then. C plus 3 times 2. Is that equal to 8? So let's see that. C plus 6 must be equal to 8. That means C must be equal to 2. So C and D, both of them have to be equal to 2. So our final answer will be choice number 3. Now, number 7, the key word here is subtracted from. In other words, this portion will come to the front. X squared plus 3x minus 2. That will come in the front, and then subtracting the rest. 2x squared minus x plus 6. Now, let us see how we can simplify this one. We'll end up getting x squared plus 3x minus 2. This negative sign, or minus sign, will be distributed in all three terms. Then we will end up getting negative 2x squared. Instead of negative, now it's going to be positive, adding x and subtracting 6. When you combine them together, we will end up getting negative x squared by x squared minus 2x squared, and then plus 4x and minus 8. We realize that the answer would be number 4. Number 8. Now, in this particular case, all we have to do is simply count the exponents. Let's say we have x. How many exponents do we have here? 2. And here, it's not there, it seems, so therefore 1 is hidden. So in total, we have 3 x's multiplying together. How about y? I don't have y here, but I do have y squared here. So y squared. How about z? We have z cubed and then z the first, as it is before, hidden. So our answer will be x cubed times y squared times z to the 4th power, which is given right over here. Alright, next. In this case, this value, 15a squared, b, will divide this term and this term. Let's see what we can do. So first, 45, so in other words, we will end up getting this one, 45, a to the 4th power, and b to the 3rd power, all over 15a squared b, minus 90 a cubed b, all over same denominator, 15a squared times b. Now, when you cancel out the first one, you will realize that those becomes to be on top. And here becomes a squared. And here it becomes b squared. So we'll end up getting something like 3a squared b squared. That's the beginning. How about here? 9d divided by 15 will in fact get us minus 6. In terms of a's, we have 3 of them, we have 12 of them, so therefore by division we will end up having 1a. And b's here we can see that they will be cancelled. So there it goes. Let's try to go for one more question. Now, in order for us to do this one, let's try to plot this line. How are we going to plot this line? 2x plus 1, so we will go from 1, the slope of 2, 1 over 2 up, 1 over 2 up, and so forth and so on. But notice that we don't have it on the line. That means our sketch will be some sort of a dotted line like this. Now, since y has to be smaller, I will just shade these area. And then let us look at the other equation. Y is greater than or equal to negative 1/3 x plus 4. So our starting point in this case will be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, since the slope for this particular question was negative 1/3, negative 1/3, that means from here, instead of going up, we'll go down by 1 and then 3 over. 1, 2, 3. 1 down, 1, 2, 3. So in fact, if you draw the line, and as you can see, y has to be greater, then we are looking at this area. And interestingly enough, this portion will be our, therefore, solution. Alright, now we'll continue with part 2.